Watching my channel KhanTech. You are all welcome to KhanTech. In this video I am going to discuss create and use macros in spreadsheet. What is a macro? A macro is a saved sequence of commands or keystrokes that are stored for later use. A macro is a named sequence of commands or keystrokes that are stored for later use. An example of a macro is one that types addresses. The OpenOffice Calc macro language is very flexible, allowing automation of both simple and complex tasks. You can do complex tasks in OpenOffice and as well as simple tasks. Macros are especially useful to repeat a task the same way over and over again. If you want to repeatedly you want to do the same task, then you can create a macro and execute the macro so that the time can be saved, reduce the human errors. Macro automate the repeated task keystrokes. These are the advantages of macro. Using the macro recorder. This session provides basics of understanding general macro capabilities in OpenOffice using macro recorder. The following steps create a macro that performs paste special with multiply. Open a new spreadsheet and enter numbers into a sheet like this. In column 1, 1, in column 2, 2, like this. You have to enter column ABC or 1, 2, 3 like this numbers. After entering this data, select cell A3, that is 3, which contains the number 3, and copy the value to the clipboard. You have to copy this. You have to press Ctrl C. Next step is select the range A1 to A3, A1 to C3. We have to select all this. And then go to the tool, then go to the macros, then select the record macro to start a macro recorder. The record macro dialog is displayed with a stop recording button. I have entered the numbers like this. And select the cell A3 and copy, Ctrl C. And next go to the toolbar, select macro, select macros and then select record macro. Here you will see stop button and start button. Select all the range from A1 to C3 and stop the recording. It will prompt to give the name of a macro. I am giving first macro as a name of the macro. You can save this in the standard macro. In the standard there is a module. In that module the name first macro will be saved. Don't save in the OpenOffice macros. Save it on standard in that module. In that module there is a macro name. Macro will be saved first macro. Click on save. The macro is saved now. Next go to the edit and click on paste special. To open paste special dialog box and click on multiply. Set the operation multiply and click on OK. The cells are now multiplied by 3. Go to the view toolbar, edit toolbar. Go to the edit toolbar, select special, paste special. Shortcut key is Ctrl plus Shift plus V. Then select this paste all and click on this multiply and click on OK. You see all the data is cell in the multiplied by 3. Why? Because we have selected the first of all we have copied to the clip by selecting Ctrl C. Number 3 we have selected and then we have selected multiplication option. It has multiplied by 3. Then click on stop recording to stop a macro to record. Now click on stop button. And click on save. Select the current worksheet. For example, the current calc worksheet is Untitled 1. Existing worksheet show a library named Standard. This library is not created until the worksheet is saved or the library is needed. So at this point your new worksheet does not contain a library. You can create a new library to contain the macro, but this is not necessary. If you want, you can create a new library by clicking on this new library button. By clicking on this module, you can create a module, and in the standard toolbar, you can in the standard library you can save the macro. Click on new module. If no libraries exist, then the standard library is automatically created and used. If you want to create a new module, then it will ask the name of the module. Give the name. A new module dialog box will appear like this. After entering the module name, then click on OK. To create a module name named module 1, select the newly created module 1. Enter the macro name. Paste multiply. Click save. The module will be saved. Here after recording the macro, you have to stop this macro and give the new module. Click on new module. I'm giving module 2, okay. In that macro 2, module 2, macro 2. Then the macro will be saved now. And go to your tools, take on spreadsheet, click on macros and click on run macro to execute the macro. And select on the macro which we have created, my macros, in the standard library, in the module 2, macro 2. Click on run. Like this the macro will be executed. Let's take one more example. We'll take one example. I have entered the data here. I have entered some names and marks in English, Hindi, IT, Math, Science and Social. Copy this. We will copy it to one more sheet, this file, this sheet. Control C and take one more blank workbook and paste here. We will apply some formatting here. Before applying, we have to record the macro. Go to the toolbar, select macro and record macro. Now there are two buttons. One is record and another is stop recording. Now you can apply font text for formatting. Go to the toolbar, select text formatting toolbar. Now you can see this text formatting font color. Select the names and go click on font color. And select all these marks. Here the color. Increase the font size. And if you want to write one more record here, I am writing Alim, give the marks. Okay, now stop recording here. In the standard library, module 2, give the macro name macro 3 and click on save. Next, come to this sheet. I want to apply all the formatting to this workbook. Go to the tools, select on macros and click on run macro and select the macro in the standard library module 2. In the module 2 macro 3 we have created just now. You can see that all the formatting will apply to this text, to this workbook within no time. And the last record is not taking because we are not applied first. When we are creating the macro, we are not selected that, so last record will not come. We have recorded up to this seven names, 6 names. Like this, if you want to apply all the formatting to the sheets, you can do the formatting by recording a macro and executing the macro. Here the last record is not recorded because we have entered the, after we are recording the, we have entered this data, this record number 8 Alim. This record we have entered after recording the macro. So when you execute the macro again, only 7 records will be executed. The 8th record will not executed. If you want to delete a macro, you can go to the toolbar and click on macros and click on organize macros and click on OpenOffice basic, and then select the module, select the macro name in the standard library, in the module and the macro name. You have to select the macro name. If you want to delete macro 2, select macro number 2, macro 2 and click on delete. Do you want to delete the macro 2? Yes, I want to delete. Like this you can delete the macros. When we record a macro, a code will be generated. If you want to see that code, go to the tool and click on macros, click on organize macro, click on OpenOffice basic and select the macro name and click on edit. This is the code generated by the macro. Now next is macro as a function, using a macro as a function. Using the newly created calc worksheet, calc test macros.ods, enter the formula is equal to number 5. Calc find the macro and calls it. In the formula you have to enter is equal to number 5 parenthesis. Function names are not case sensitive. You can enter number 5 parenthesis or calc clearly shows uppercase number 5. Save the calc document, close it and open it again. Depending on your settings in tools, options, OpenOffice or security, macro security, calc will display one of the warning shown below. Calc will not allow any macros to be run inside the document. You have to enter click enable macro. This document contains macro, then click on OK. If you choose a disable macro, then the document loads. Calc can no longer find the function. When the document is created and saved, it automatically contains a library named standard. The standard library is automatically loaded when the document is open. No other library is automatically loaded. Calc does not contain a function named number 5, so it checks all the opened and visible macros library for the function. Libraries in the Calc OpenOffice macros, my macro and the Calc document are checked for an appropriately named function. The number 5 function is stored in the author's Calc macro library, which is not automatically loaded when the document is opened. Use tools macros, organize macros, OpenOffice basic to open the OpenOffice basic macro dialog shown further. Expand Calc test macros and you will find the author Calc macros. The icon for load library is different color from the icon for a library that is not loaded. Click the expand symbol next to the author Calc max to load the library. The icon change color to indicate that the library is now loaded. Click on close. Use tools macros, organize macros, OpenOffice basic to open the basic macro dialog box. Click on edit to open the macro for editing. Here we will see practically how will we create the function. Select on one sheet, select on one new sheet and click on tools and click on macros, organize macros. Here we have to select the macro to write a function. Now we are writing a function. Click on organize macro, click on OpenOffice basic and click on the macro. Macro 3, click on edit. So we have to write a function on the top. We have to write. Here we will write the function. I am writing the function name as KhanTech. KhanTech parenthesis is equal to, in the double quotes, IT trainer and end function. Now you have to save this by clicking here. Now the function is saved. Like this we have to create the function name. Then again function name is equal to, in the double quotes it will be displayed, and end function end function. And then save and close this function and come to in the new sheet, new workbook, and execute now is equal to KhanTech parenthesis enter. Now IT trainer is a, we are given the designation. I will execute right is equal to, we have given function name KhanTech and parenthesis enter. Like this you can execute the function. Like this, this is a example of given one program. We'll take one below is the one simple example. This is a function and function name, and in that x and y, these are two variables, and we are giving the values to these. That is called values argument, passing arguments. That means we are giving the values of x and values of y to a function. That is argument. It will take the values of x and it will take the value of y. Then it will process which one is greater, test max x else test max y. X greater than or equal to y, test x is greater, or else test max is equal to y, y is max, end function. Argument passed to a macro from calc is always values. It is not possible to know cells if any cells are used. For example, is positive sum A3 passes the value of cell A3, and positive sum has no way of knowing that cell A3 was used. So in argument we have to give the values, only values. Open the macro, go to the tools, macros, organize macros, OpenOffice basic, select macro 3, click on edit, Now right on the top, value multi is the function I am writing. And that passing argument optional. Optional x is a variable. We are passing one variable x, and function name is value multi is equal to x multiplied x into 2. End function. Function and function. Is equal to value multi value multi 8. Like this you can see is equal to value multi here the value 6, it will multiply by 6 into 6 12. Like this you can write a macro when passing the arguments. You can give this cell reference also. You can, if you want to give instead of value, you can give the cell reference. Suppose is equal to value multi is our macro. Give the cell reference of this. What is the cell reference? B22. B22 means the value 12 will be taken. Receipt multiplied by 2. 12 into 2, 24. Like that you can give the arguments to a function. I will take one more function. Function cube. Optional x. Cube function name is equal to x into x into x. and function name, optional passing the value x and multiplication of x into x into x, end function. Save this and come to the OpenOffice spreadsheet and execute this macro is equal to cube two comma 2 is equal to cube number, in the bracket give the number 5 I am giving, enter. Like this it will give the answer cube of 5 125. In this way we can write a macro of a cube. Next is sorting. Sorting data can be automated in OpenOffice by creating a macro in Calc. Data can be sorted on a single column or more than one column. Each time the macro runs, the data gets sorted. Such macros can be written using code in OpenOffice. Consider sorting the data in the figure below. First sort on column B descending and then column A ascending. Column B descending, column A ascending. Open the spreadsheet. Now select the range of cells and go to the tools, macro, record macro. Then go to the data menu. Now for the sorting, I have entered the data, roll number and marks, and select this range. Go to the tools, select macros, record macro. And click on data, sort. Sort by ascending or descending, sort by mark or sort by roll number. I will select sort by roll number first and ascending order. Click on OK. Now you can see the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Like this you can sort. And click on data. Click on sort. Now you can select marks, ascending, or you can select descending also. Okay, like this descending order marks. Like this you can sort out the data. Now click on stop recording. Give the name of the macro. Sorting, I am giving the name of the macro as a sorting. Click on save. The macro is saved. Now go to the sheet 2. I have copied the data and go to the tools and go to macros. Click on run macro. Select the macro in the standard library. In the module 1, sorting. Click on run. Now you can see all the sequence of steps, commands, keystrokes are recorded and executed here. That's all about macros. I will meet you in the next video. Till then, bye.